Alright, this is my Sansui 1000A 4-pot conversion. Typically these things come in a 1-pot version, 2-pot, or 4 pots. That is for adjusting the bias of the output tubes. I already have it hooked up, so I'm just going to show the 4 potentiometers that I put in there. They're called pots. These are 15-turn pots which make fine adjustments, more practical, I guess, for making small adjustments, then as we're working in millivolts here. Anyway, I already have the clip leads hooked up to my meter. This is to ground. These are resistors that I've added in here. I've added down to the output tubes up down here and this channel down here. We're just going to measure the one right now. Right now I'm going to adjust this potentiometer. And if you look up at my meter here, typically this is done with 0 volume, but I would just turn this until I get down to around 345 to 350. Typically I like to put them at about 345 millivolts or 0.345 volts. This particular meter will measure in millivolts. You also want to do this with 0 volume and no signal applied. So I'm going to match all these potentiometers. I'm going to put these clip leads on each of these resistors. I'm measuring the voltage drop across those resistors. Same thing down here. And typically I'll get them matched really close. And the big difference is, without having tubes that are actually matched, your current that they draw is going to be different. And that's not a desirable effect that you're going to get from that. So what we're going to do is we're going to match all these tubes, these output tubes, to exact same bias, and that'll make for a lot more stable amp. Also the longevity of the tubes, and these tubes are pretty expensive. We're using old stock tubes in here, and they can get pretty salty when you have to replace them, especially when you have to replace them in pairs. But that's basically it. 4 pots. This whole circuit's been modified. As well as a lot of resistors replaced in this particular circuit and a diode. But other than that, that's it. The 4-pot bias modification for the Sansui 1000A.